students, we're in chapter 4. We're going to do section 1 and example 1, and we're going to classify triangles, hoping this is really simple for you, that this is merely review, and that it is something that we can just gloss over and maybe talk about for the next couple of minutes. All right, we're going to classify triangles by their angle measures. And so if the triangle has 3 acute angles, all 3 of them are less than 90 degrees, then we're going to classify it as being acute. If we end up with 3 acute angles and they're all the same measure, that means they are equiangular. Equa, of course, means equal. Let's make a little equal sign under there. And angular means angles. They have equal angles. And of course, we know a triangle, the angles add up to be 180 degrees. So if all 3 angles are the same and they equal altogether 180 degrees, then when you divide 180 by 3, each angle is going to be 60 degrees. So that's what we know is true. If you end up with a triangle that's 60, 60, 60, that's an equiangular triangle, which is, I would consider that a subset of an acute triangle. A right triangle is going to have 1 right angle. You are not going to have more than 1 right angle in a triangle. It won't be a triangular shape if you have 2 right angles. And then an obtuse triangle has just 1 obtuse angle. You're only going to have 1. The other 2 angles will be acute. Okay, so let's look at example 1. We know that we can classify triangles using their angle measures. And so the first one they want us to tackle is triangle EHG. E, H, and G. So it's this big triangle right here, okay? Some of this stuff we can ignore. We don't need this line, that angle, or this angle that I just marked out. So what we have here is a 30, 60, 90 triangle, okay? I always try to look for the biggest measurement. That's what I tend to lock in on. And I go, okay, the biggest angle measure is 90 degrees. And there's only 1 of them there. So I would classify this and say that this is a right triangle. Okay? Let me erase, because the second angle we're going to need, second triangle, we're going to need to see the big triangle over again so we can see the perimeter. So we're looking at EF, here's E, here's F, and here's H. Okay? Now, this is the triangle, so we're going to ignore the rest of this, okay? So we're looking there, and we really do want to make sure that we can see clearly what the angle measures are. 2 of them are 30 degrees. 30 plus 30 is 60. If we take 60 away from 180, which is how much total, that's the sum total of all 3 angles. If we take the 2 30-degree angles away from the 180, we're going to be left with 120 degrees. So that missing angle here is 120 degrees. So I always kind of lock in on the biggest angle there. And I go, okay, wow, that's more than 90 degrees. That's an obtuse angle there. So I would classify this as an obtuse triangle. Okay, now you're going to do the same thing for the check it out. You're going to use your diagram and you're going to classify triangle FHG using the angle measures. Let me erase it so you can see the triangle a little bit better. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to give you a +1 for doing this particular problem. Okay, so there's your triangle. Classify it for me. If you have any questions, bring them to class tomorrow.